Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. And yes, I'm wide awake today. Right, we're going to do a DIY art bin. Let's make this, and this is what we're going to make. This is the seriously cute Santa cup or hot cocoa mug, whatever it is you want to call it. And you can see within here you've got various elements, like the face will cut out. So you're looking at a white beard, a white moustache, a white sort of like whipped cream topping. You've got black eyes, you've got a pink nose, you've got to recut that piece in pink, and then you've got red bits that will sit on top of a cane, which I suggest you would, like cut in white or something. And this is what I'm going to be using, scraps. Scraps are perfect for doing things like this. So I've got a little bit of red, I've got a little bit of pink, I've got some white, and I've got some black for the eyes, and just all from a little box at the side of my guillotine, where I just chuck all my little extras. Because if you're die cutting something and it's quite a large sheet of paper, for the size of the die, I usually trim them up and then just put the nicer chunks into a little box at the side of my machine. And then we're going to do the frosty topping, and we're going to use my favourite mini rhombus. Take the lid off because they're gorgeous. One of these days I'm just going to throw them all on the floor and walk through them. There they are. They're just really lovely. They're just perfect for doing all of your little cupcake toppings and stuff like that. Right, so we're going to use those as our topping, and we're going to use a little bit of chalk for the cheeks, which I showed you last week, along with one of the daubers that I got with this. So we're going to be using that, and we're going to be using some Dollar Tree glue and my lovely Scruffy mat. But first of all, I'm going to rush off and die cut those pieces. Alright, so I've been off and I die cut my scraps, and this is the cup, and I'm just going to put it there, and for anyone that's buying it, show you how it needs to go. That piece is going to have to go back into there, and I'm going to show you how to do that just by using a piece of double-sided adhesive and leave one side attached so that you can pop that piece back there. That is your little whipped cream top in there for your cup, and then this will fit down here, and then you'll have your face that goes into there, and then you've got your moustache that will go onto there. This will make a great card topper or even a tag, because you can use the handle of the cup. So there's your little nose that goes on there. And then you need white pupils for your eyes. Now I'm going to be using my paint pen just to dab onto the pink. And this piece here is the mouth, and then this is one of the lips. And this little pink piece needs to be glued to the bottom of your red piece, and then it will tuck in that little gap in the moustache. And then we've got the candy cane, and we've got the pieces. So what I'm going to do is squeeze those out of the way, and I'm just going to dot my face first to make sure that my my paint pen is drying. Now I'm shaking my paint pen. I'm using a Uniposca, and I'm trying to think the size of this one. It's medium. So I've got a sheet of cardstock here, and me dotting off my pen. Right, I think that's safe to use, and I believe he's looking upwards, so I'm just putting white into that region. I'm going to pick that up. You might not be able to see it because of the lighting. There you go. So I've put white there. I may just put a little bit more, because you just never know how far the eye is going to reach, but you don't need to go over the edges. So if you have a look there, you can see I've got white paint down in that region for the lights in the eye. So that's going to be drying while I'll first of all do this bit. Ooh, keep my eyes together. Now all you need to do is turn it over, because that little bit there, it is a little bit delicate. So just flip that over, and then working from the back, get yourself some double-sided tape. I'm using this. It doesn't matter how wide or skinny it is, because you're going to trim it away from the top section anyway. So I've just cut a piece here, and I am overlapping it so that you can see exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just cutting another piece, and that should be enough just to hold that in place. Now be careful how you pick it up, because as I said, you know, that piece is quite thin and delicate, so just gently go along and lift. And now you want to get your bit that popped out, get it accurate, she says, hopefully, and just slot it back in. Now that's hanging on to the tape there, so it's not going to go anywhere. And then just go in with your scissors, and don't cut into your die, just cut right up to the edge and take that away. So you're nice and flush, and your little scraps, you can use them if you want to, but I tend not to. Right, so we've got that. And that means now that if I've got my Dollar Tree glue here, I can just get this and make sure your bottle isn't all bunged up. That's what I say. I don't know if that... Ah, there we go. Fortune shines on the brave there. So I'm just popping that down there, and I'm going to put my frosting piece on. So you'll note that you need that little bit of red that we just stuck back in, because it overhangs the outside of your frosting, so you do need to put it back. If you wanted to do it chocolate coloured in dark brown or something, you could do that, but I just popped back in the bit that popped out. Right, so that's on, and that is dry. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to glue on the beard hair piece, which is this one, and you can just follow all the way around. It's going to pretty much fill in, so it doesn't matter if any glue squeezes out on you. And as you always know, the position of my camera, I can't always see if I've got things on straight, so I'm just going to tip it towards me and slide it slightly. Try to get it in the right place, and I think I have. And just screws it flat. The next thing is your face piece, so you can just go in there. I've got a little wiggle of glue. Find your face piece and just drop that in. See how quick and easy this is? It is really. Of course me, I get fluff everywhere. So I'm just making sure that that's stuck down, and I've already got my white there, so I know that I can just pop the eyes straight on. Now I'm choosing to go just off center, because I don't want it to come squeezing through the open eyeballs, as you can see there. I'm using my pickup tool. Decide which direction you want your eyes, because you don't have to have them the same as whoops, it's alright, my pickup tool is snapped in half. They don't have to be absolutely accurate to what you see on the website, but just that little bit of white paint there just makes it easier. Now I haven't actually pushed down, so you can slide your eyes over into the areas that are embossed to accept them. There you go. See that? How nice and easy to have that little bit of white paint, so you're not messing around with tiny little dots of white cardstock. Right, the next thing to pop on there is the moustache. But first of all, we need to make sure we've got the mouth under it. So I'm going to put the lips on first. Now this is a fiddly bit, so pick up tool again and pick that up and try and get that right onto the edge, and then adjust it with my finger. Give it a press Oops, it's likely to stick to you, but never mind. And then I just need a dot of glue on the other side of the moustache, and I'm going to go about here. And then position where you think the mouth should be, because there's not really that much of it showing through. And then just pop that down with your finger. And also, doing it this way, it means that your moustache, if you wanted to, you could actually curl it, because you're going to glue it to the face just using the mouthpiece underneath. And I'll show you what I mean. See, you can fasten him down just using that little red bit, just a little bit of glue, and then once it's dry you can just play around with the moustache and bend it towards you if you want to. Now the nose does come down quite a way on the moustache, so slide that up. About there looks about right, I think that's in the center, and such a quick and easy one. And then here's his little nose. Now what I want to do is highlight the nose just with a little bit of darker pink. So I think I've still got some stuff on here. I'm just going to dust off on the edges so that he's highlighted a little bit more than his face. But it is only like a little tickling around the edge that I'm doing here. So I've got that, and hopefully that little bit of pink is going to make it show up just a little bit more. And here we go. A little bit on top of the moustache as well. I'm using my pickup tool. You can see how it's broken. It's just, I don't, in fact, you know, just take it out the sleeve and use it if you can pick it up. And then pop it on. And I think I've got that in the right place. I'm just going to have a look. And then I'm going to give it a squeeze. Isn't that nice? It's just so sweet. Really like that. It's very cute. And then the only thing missing is the cane. And we need to get the bits on there. So I'm just going to glue. I'm looking at the shapes here, and I think that one goes there. And then of course there's going to need to be a gap of white for the cane. And there's 4 bits, so it's a matter of deciding which bit goes where. And I think the longest, skinniest bit goes at the top. So if I just grab that, pop that one there. And then looking at these two, I'm trying to think. I think the widest one goes there. And if it doesn't matter. I think that one goes onto there. So there's our candy cane stripy pieces. And then just squeeze them down with your finger so that they'll hold into position. And if you feel that you've gone a little bit skewy, you can just straighten them up. Just push them around until you're happy. And then just hold them with your fingers. And you can, of course, use a marker if you want to just brush the stripes on using a marker. So we've got that. And the candy cane is going to go just behind. If you remember, I only stuck it on with the bottom bit, so you've got that going on there. So I'm just going to drop a little squidge of glue, pick my candy cane up, see where I've gone. And I believe that goes there. So we've got a candy cane coming out of our frosting. Now before I do anything else, I'm just going to let that dry a minute, and I'll be right back and we'll do the cheeks. Right, so I think that's dry enough, and I'm going to use this colour here. And I'm just going to pick a bit of chalk up. I've picked up quite a bit there. So test it on a sheet of card to make sure it's where you want it. And then just be brave and go in. I'm turning him upside down because I want his cheeks to go into the arches that start curling up on the moustache. So I'm lifting up his moustache there, which was not glued down. And I'm just going round and round. Then I'm going to do the same thing here and lift his moustache up into that arch area. Do the same thing. I mean, your cheeks can be as big, as little, or as cute as you want them to be. So there's his little cheeks. I think he might need a little bit more up here, actually. So I'll go for that. Let's see how close we can get. There, that's a bit better. So he's got his lovely rosy cheeks, he's got his little lips and tosh, and the only thing missing now is the frosting on the top of his head. And the nice thing about this, as you can see, it's deeply embossed. So if you've got a bunch of colour markers and you want to go in there, you can absolutely do that. But I'm going to use those as guides for my glue. So wherever I can see one of those little embossed sort of like divots, I'm just dropping my glue so that when I put my mini rhombus sequins on, that's going to cover it. So I'm just screwing off the lid and taking just a little pinch and putting them there. And I'm going to use my little tool, she says, hopefully, and just dot them down, just all nice and random. And I just noticed actually that that piece there isn't a sequin. It's a little bit of a rough offcut. So I'm going to get that off. It's a little V shape. So just pick up the colours that you want to use and just drop them on. And they should just, you know, grab into the glue if you're lucky. I mean, normally I would go absolutely mad and cover the whole thing, but I think the website image has got them kind of very sparingly dotted around. So I'm going to try and stick with that. I'm going quiet. Always go quiet when you're having fun. If you're concentrating, I've got my tongue hanging out the side of my mouth. If I picked any up then. There's a paler pink one. And I think I'll go for another yellow. Yellow is a happy colour. Oh, that won't drop down. See, sometimes you get glue on your pickup tool and you just have to clean it off. There. That's probably about how it looks, I think, on the website. So if I move my yuck out of the way and I can pick my sequins up, whoops-a-daisy, and pop those back off into the pot later. But there he is. And if my camera is playing up, I'm really sorry. There we go. We found a spot. You can see the lovely whites of the eyes, the cheeky cheeks, and the little bit of sprinkle on his head. Really love that. Right. I thank you so much for joining me today. And tomorrow I am up with a Halloweeny from Eiffel Store. And then the rest of the week is going to be using those new items from Panalisa. Have an absolutely awesome day. Don't forget the sale is still on. And as usual, all links below. Bye.